On your side talking about your money this morning, and here to tell us a little bit more about her blog on finances, Kayla Sloan. Thank you for joining us. A Colby native?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for being here and making that drive.
A Colby native and a K-Stater, which makes you Jamel Holoparik in the flesh here.
Oh, cool.
It's the same exact thing. But Kayla, thanks for being here. This is always one of the top issues we like to discuss on Good Morning Caitlin. I'm just trying to help people where it really counts.
Right. Definitely. I agree. You know, that's why I really started my blog, is I wanted to get my money in order and help other people do the same thing.
Okay, well, just for people who might not know, tell us a little bit about your blog and what you do.
Sure. Well, I started blogging just as a hobby to express myself and share my story and create some accountability for myself, because I needed to get my finances in order. And I had no idea that it could become a full-time job for me. And about 2 years after I started blogging, I was able to quit my job, and I now blog full-time.
Wow. So I imagine you've heard some of the names out there, the Dave Ramseys and the people, you know. So how do you go about formulating your own theories on things? Do you pick and choose from certain strategies?
I do. You know, I read lots of personal finance experts, their stories. You know, I read Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman, and I think you need to pick and choose. You know, you have to create what works for you, and it's just taking bits and pieces from different experts and putting that together.
Good.
Yeah, figuring out what works best for you. And speaking of that, we're taking a look at your blog right now.
Absolutely.
You also do coaching. So when people reach out to you and say, I need help, what are those areas in their life or in their finances that they request most from you?
I think a lot of people just don't realize how they're spending their money. So what I like to do with people is just break it down and figure out exactly where their money is going, because I think people underestimate how much they're spending on some things. You know, you don't think about it, you swipe your debit card and you forget about that $5 or $10 you spent eating out, and if you do that all the time, it really adds up.
Right.
So what are some of the first steps that someone should take in terms of making a budget? Is that where you just got to sit down, pencil to paper?
I think so. And, you know, a lot of people try to say, well, I have it in my head. It doesn't really work. You have to write it down.
Right.
You know, you can do it on the computer, you can do it with Excel, or you can just go old school with pen and paper.
Okay, great advice, and perfect for the summertime where people can maybe get a little crazy with their spending.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to want to go out whenever it's nice and you want to go out and eat and
Ice
things like
cream
that.
after you pay.
Exactly. All the activities that you might be doing this summer. So what advice would you give to families as we tackle the summer and make sure that we don't let our finances get out of control?
Especially for those with young children. I know, you know, they have extra concerns about childcare since kids aren't in school. They have lots of extra activities for kids in the summer. So I think trying to find things that are free or cheap are really important for families. You know, take a look at your local resources. Go to the library and find out if they have kids programs. Go to your local extension office. They have tons of resources for kids. And I think that's something that parents forget about. You know, they think about all those expensive summer camps. And while those are great, they may not fit into your budget. So you have to figure out what level of spending is okay for your family.
Right. Well, when you do want to spend, though, you have that one item that you say, I'm gonna get there. How do you get there? What's the best way to kind of keep your focus, but also tell yourself, you know, we'll get there eventually?
Right. What I like to do is I have like a chart that I like to use, and I just shade it in as I work on my savings goal. It's something visual that I see every day. It reminds me of my goal. Right now I'm saving up for vacation, so I have my, you know, my chart drawn out, and I have pictures of where I'm going, so I stay really excited about it, and it makes saving a little bit easier because I know what I'm going to be using it for.
I love that. So is that something that you would offer if someone wanted to contact you and get that advice or get your coaching? Is that something that you would help them out with?
Yeah, I love to help people figure out what to save for. You know, it's not about cutting everything. You know, you can spend money on things you love to do. That's absolutely great. That's what you should do. That's what a budget should do for you. It shouldn't make you feel restricted.
Yeah. Well, we do have to let you go soon, but I do want to ask you, we've talked to some bloggers here on the show on Good Morning Caitlin. A lot of the folks have had fascinating stories just about how they started the blog, how they've kept up with the blog. What advice would you give in that regard, and how surprising has this been for you just to have this?
Absolutely shocking. You know, when I started a few years ago now, and it was just a part-time hobby. I had no idea it could turn into something more. And just to watch it grow, watch the number of people I've been able to help, and share information with and turn it into a full-time job. I have a team behind me now. I have a few people that work for me. It's crazy how fast it's grown. It's been amazing.
Kayla, that's awesome. Well, we so appreciate you coming here to share this advice with us. If anyone's watching and wants to reach out and get your help, how can they contact you?
You can find me on my website. It's KaylaSloan.com.
Okay.
And I'm always available by email at Kayla@KaylaSloan.com.
Okay,
all right.
awesome, Kayla. Great advice.
Thank
you so
you
much
so
for coming
much.
and helping us out with our money this summer. We
Sounds
appreciate
great.
you. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.